Okay, so this is a pretty interesting one, and it just highlights the hypocrisy of the Republican Party. Following the devastating massacre that occurred in Orlando 2 weeks ago, of course, we're seeing politicians come out with solutions, some of them very reasonable, very level-headed, very smart. We see those coming from the left. You know, let's start having a conversation about gun safety, maybe banning assault weapons, maybe make it a little harder to procure a gun. Maybe, like, why don't we just put it on par with, like, it's as hard to get a gun as it is to be able to get a driver's license. Like, we could just start there. But Republicans, because they are in the pockets of the NRA, and for some reason they think that guns can help people, they have come up with a classic, like, I mean, this is like what I call a bait and switch. So congressional Republicans have a different plan for addressing what happened in Orlando. They want to give the FBI easy access to citizens' browsing history and email data without the hassle of having to obtain a warrant first.
Isn't that what they did during the Patriot Act?
It is, and that is
well, no, I mean, I think it's one step further,
right there, right?
Because in the Patriot Act they said it was warrantless wiretaps. Now they're saying we're just going to come into your computer and just steal all your stuff.
It's just like a direct pipeline from the FBI to any computer. And what's so crazy about this is it's not going to solve the problem of the guns at all. And it continues to erode on our already, you know, fragile at best
right to privacy.
Right to privacy. So what I call this is a Republican grand slam right there.
Well, this is the crazy part to me about this whole thing, because like every other amendment in the Constitution to them have limits, right? Like the First Amendment has clear limits. Republicans believe that, right? The right to privacy, based on their voting history, has clear limits, like FISA courts, warrantless wiretaps, data mining, drones. They love all of it, right? Besides the libertarians, like shout out to the libertarians, right? And then you have cruel and unusual punishment. That has limits. So yeah, well, you can death penalty, and you could do that, right? Every amendment seems to have limits,
except besides
the Second Amendment to them. The Second Amendment to them has absolutely no limits. Like you can have enough. You could have Katyusha rockets. You could have AK. You could have a tank. You could have a tank, a military tank, and a cannon in your garage. They're like, oh, it's right to bear arms.
No, I mean you're totally right, and it's a perfect example. Like historically, the Republicans, well, in the last couple of decades, they are known as the party that has the strict view of the Constitution. Now, I think that this is effective branding because, exactly like Richard described, that's really not what's going on.
Nope.
I would call them the people that are unreasonable and have a selectionist interpretation of when they want to be strict and when they want to be loose.
I would call it a selected, strict interpretation of the Constitution.
When it's beneficial for them, they pick strict, and other times they say no limits.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane. Like, I mean, it's just absolutely downright insane. Like it's just like they believe in the right to property, they believe in the right to bear arms, but oh no, when it comes to a woman, you know, your self-expression, what you do with your uterus, oh no, that's our problem.
Well, dare we even talk about freedom of religion and Donald Trump?
Because you can have freedom of religion only if you pray to Jesus.
Yep.
But if you pray to Buddha, Allah, Krishna,
or no one.
Or no one.
You're a terrible person.
You're a terrible person and you're going to hell.
Yeah.
That's why they commemorate In God We Trust like 15 times the last year.
Yeah.
That's what they passed out the House, commemorating In God We Trust, because we didn't know we trusted in God, even though it's on all the money.